What up, YouTube? Major G, and today I'm going to be watching. It's going to be slightly different. This is Redrunner, who is also a reactor, put out a video of the top 10 death battles he wants to see. This is actually kind of a long video. I'm surprised it's this long, but it's almost about 30 minutes or so. But I am curious to see what he thinks, and I'm curious to see if I agree with what he says. So let's get this ready. And of course, as I've been mentioning so many times in my videos, I really want to see Karate Kid versus Iron Fist. This was actually made about a month and a half ago, something like that. So let's see what he has to say about this, about what death battles he most wants to see, and let's see if I agree. All right, here we go.
Hey guys, and welcome to my first top 10 video. Alright, so we are currently 6 episodes into Death Battle
Which one was
Season
that?
3.
That must be
Anyway,
Vegeta
the
or
point of
something.
this video is to count
That must have been the
down
Shadow
my
versus
top
Vegeta
10
fight.
wanted death battles. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to do any fights that have already happened. I'm not going to request any rematches or anything like that.
Fair
because
enough.
I don't think any are required.
Me neither.
The only rules for this video are the fact that I need to enjoy the concept of this fight, and I need to want to see it. Obviously, that's what this video is called, Top 10 Wanted Death Battles. Now that I think about it, I'll probably title this video Top 10 Death Battles That I Want to See. Well, since there's not really much elaboration that goes into this, let's get right into the top 10 death battles that I want to see sometime in the future. Wow, that was more of a mouthful than I thought it was gonna be. Anyway, let's get right in. My first suggestion probably won't come as a surprise to many of you. What'll come as a surprise is the fact that it's number 10 out of 10. Well, that's because I don't really feel this fight. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love both the characters. I'm just not sure how good
suspense
of a fight it would be
building.
in the end. Crash versus
Spyro. Oh
This
my
is one of those
God,
rivalry
really?
Fights. I mean, it was just that they were big competitors back in the day. I mean, I suppose if you're going by classic Spyro, they do have a lot of similarities.
Wouldn't
Although
Spyro win that?
Spyro does have fire on his
Yeah.
side. But if you're going by every Spyro, which a lot of the times Death Battle does, the Legend of Spyro series actually gave Spyro a lot of really good abilities that would instantly defeat Crash. To be honest, thinking about it, their technology is honestly pretty matched. I mean, Crash has a jetpack to counter Spyro's UFO and that flying ability that he can get. So yeah, of these two, just because of how little I remember about Crash,
I would
I'll
think
have to
that
say
Spyro
I
would
think
win,
Spyro
though.
would win this fight. And to be honest, originally this was number 9, but after I did my little bit of research on the fight, I changed what fight it was, and I was more interested in it. So, since I don't have anything else to say for this, let's go straight into the next one. You know, like I said, originally this was going to be number 10, so it went through a lot
Is this
of iterations.
Final Fantasy VII?
Like at first, I had 2 fairly obscure characters. Obscure might be the wrong word, but it wouldn't have been an interesting fight to see. They're not characters you would recognize at all. I mean, seriously, originally I was going to have Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising versus Greed from Fullmetal Alchemist. So then I decided, you know what, maybe I can look
Really?
into some more generic choices people have come up with. So just when I was watching videos, I saw a character I liked, and I was like, hey, why don't I look up who people think she should fight? So then I looked up Amy Rose versus
Harley
found a
Quinn?
bunch of suggestions. One that I just decided to
Oh,
do,
Sally?
Amy Rose versus
This is Harley.
Quinn.
Okay.
Then was moving on to find a different one when I found a picture that was labeled Amy versus Rosie. So I decided to look into it, and I found out about Rosie the Rascal, who is quite literally, in the Sonic universe, legitimately is an evil version of Amy, or anti-Amy. And now I had a much more interesting fight on my hands. Rosie the Rascal versus
Harley Quinn.
So, the reason I think this dynamic works much better than with Amy versus Harley is that Amy and Harley only have a few, I guess, coincidental similarities. They both use hammers and they're both obsessed with someone in some way. You know, Harley and the Joker, Amy and Sonic. But their obsessions are different. Well, Rosie is quite literally psychopathic, like psychotic. Her mind is basically non-existent at this point. Even in the comic, she admits that her mind has been broken. And yeah, that's another thing that might keep this death battle from ever happening in reality, is the fact that she's entirely from the comics, barely has any feats, we don't know anything about her. But
so she's basically a Superman 1 million. We've never seen anything of Superman 1 million except somebody mentioned him.
Alternate universe version of her. But there obviously would be some differences. I mean, look at this hammer. No, really, look at this freaking hammer. I mean,
the hammer.
And she is obsessed with the alternate universe version of Sonic, Scourge, but in a much different way than Harley Quinn, admittedly. I think it's a better match than Amy versus Harley because just both psychopaths, you know? Psychopaths with hammers. So her obsession is she's constantly wanting to smash his head in because he's not noticing her. That's basically the gist of it, to be completely honest with you. I don't really know why, but I don't question it. You know, if I actually sit back and think about this fight, it isn't fair. Like, Amy and Rosie, by extension, are way too fast for Harley Quinn to reasonably handle, as she's human.
Yeah,
not
that's
to
a good point, too.
The Pico Hammer is way too OP. By the way, yes, this looks different, but it is still a Pico Hammer. Pico. Okay, I will never mess up on that, but it sounds really weird saying it. Not to mention Harley Quinn's hammer that she uses is a normal hammer. Nothing special. As opposed to the Pico hammer, which is extremely strong and obviously durable. By the way, that's one of Rosie's only feats. She managed to break Amy's hammer, even though they are literally matched in durability and strength, the two hammers. Although, seriously, I honestly doubt that. Look at this hammer. It just screams death awaits anyone who faces me. I guess the only thing I can say defending Harley is that she uses guns. But yeah, that would never be enough, I'm sorry. So yeah, I obviously
going on a
think
bit
Rosie
long
would
about
win
this character that nobody really knows about. But
alright,
it's okay,
so
I understand that.
On to the next one.
That excitement. I understand that excitement. I do that too.
This one is one that you find normally when you're looking up different death battles. It's one of those really popular ones. And you know what that means? Marvel versus DC. And this fight is Scarlet Witch versus Raven. And by the way, no, not Teen Titan Raven. We're
Comic
talking
Raven.
about full-fledged Raven. So, both telekinetic powers, really good with them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I would still give that to Scarlet Witch, though, because Scarlet Witch could change reality.
I sort of know Scarlet Witches because it's shared with Quicksilver for the most part. But honestly, I don't know that much about Raven. This one will be very short. I'm just going above and beyond making these voiceover sections with clips, mind you. So yeah, I don't think you guys really mind. Don't worry, there are some long ones in there. But yeah, summarize the main reasons I want to see this are just Marvel vs. DC and psychokinetic people.
Yeah, I didn't really like the look of Injustice.
Whichever one it is. But yeah, that's it for this part. Alright, let's get right on to the next one.
Wow. Did you actually really have a reason for that, though?
Alright, so this one got
Or did
changed
somebody
a
just mention
lot
it?
throughout the production of this video. In fact, this is actually a re-recording of this section because I didn't like how the first one came out. But anyway, this was originally a completely different fight, but you don't care about that. It's an honorable mention that you'll see later on. Doesn't really matter which one. But anyway, I changed it to Ryuko Matoi from Kill la Kill versus Noriko from Heavenly Sword. Alright, this is a very weird matchup, like they're two completely different people, or at least it looks like that from the outside. So let's get into my mentality for choosing this. They're both amazing sword fighters using two-piece weapons, scissor blades. They're two parts, and I doubt you guys know Noriko, which is why I'm showing you a clip right now of how she uses a two-piece weapon. Anyway, they each have a super form.
Did she just cut a dude in his nuts?
Slowly. Technically, Noriko just fighting kills her slowly, but yeah, that's a thing about a Heavenly Sword, but nothing she can really do about that. And I don't think in a death battle they would actually count that against her. I think she would just survive until the end. I don't think the sword would end up killing her. And yeah, it's almost like spoilers for Kill la Kill, saying that Ryuko has a super form, but at the same time, I don't care. And if you even
It's anime, of course she has a
say
super
that
form.
this is outside help for Ryuko's part, then I will instantly retort, well, technically, Noriko's sword has a soul of its own, and it's so powerful that she can't even manage it. I mean, it doesn't really get personified, it's not like it speaks to her openly or anything, but it is another sentient being if you really want to be that annoying about it. Anyway, that's it for this part. Sorry if you were expecting more, but yeah, I mean, I don't really know the exact speeds, but seeing clips and stuff, like the clips I'm using right here, they seem pretty even as far as speed and stuff goes,
I guess.
although Ryuko's faster. I mean, I can just say that right now. I think they're pretty even when it comes to skill level, though. Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Yes, let's.
You guys who have been on my channel for, at the very least, a few months, really should have expected this one. Makka Albarn versus Ruby Rose. So, they're both schoolgirls.
Oh, Ruby!
Who use a giant scythe and defeat monsters for a living. It's basically their job. I mean, it's as simple as that. That's as simple as I can put it for why I decided that this would be a good fight. But I might as well touch on the complications of it, mainly dealing with the whole outside help thing, because, I mean, there was actually a YouTube commenter who I'm sure is watching this video. Makka in the department of outside help is kind of touchy, but I don't really know if Duffbell would see it that way. You see, you know how I said they both use sides? Yeah, anyone who's seen Soul Eater
knows that Soul Eater
by
is an actual
this revelation.
person.
But yeah, her weapon is also her friend.
Yeah.
His name is Soul.
Yeah.
In other words, she needs her friend to really, fight. I mean, don't get me wrong, she has a lot of cool feats without Soul, but that doesn't change the fact that she always fights with him, and Ruby's probably fast enough to get around a lot of the other tactics she has. Don't get me wrong, I haven't seen the manga. I haven't read the manga because I don't know where to find the manga.
Yeah, I think Death Battle would probably negate that because as a weapon, Soul himself doesn't really do anything.
I don't know of any feats of mangas
besides
that would
being
make
a
her
weapon.
close to how fast Ruby can be. I mean, she's fast enough to shatter a wall just by running up to it. Shatter might be the wrong word, but
Maybe I should
I'm
watch
showing
Ruby.
the scene. You can figure it out for yourself, whether that's shattering or whatever it is. But yeah, if Soul is allowed to be in here, this could be a very cool fight, and I don't really mind if Makka wins or if Ruby wins. Personally, at this point, Ruby is not over yet. Ruby is far from over. We don't know Ruby's full power and all that. But yeah, at
Didn't
this
Ruby
point,
end?
obviously, I think Makka would win this fight. I mean, it's not really much of a question at this point. We'll have to wait to see what Ruby's powers are able to accomplish before we really really get down to hard decisions. But anyway, on to the next one. So, right off the bat, just so you guys know, Nathan Drake is one of the combatants in this fight. But what you guys might be surprised about is the fact that I did not pair him up against the person who everyone does.
Lara Croft
just seemed too OP, so instead I went with Indiana
Jones. Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be Indy.
I mean, they aren't exactly the same, but they have a lot of
I
similarities.
had a feeling it was going to be
Hunters.
Indy.
With this most recent game, both of them have whips, or, whip-like things. They can use them against enemies and stuff. They both are good with guns, but Indiana Jones doesn't usually use guns, other than his trademark pistol, whereas Nathan Drake uses a bunch of weaponry. Honestly, I think the only clear way that Nathan Drake has the upper hand is in durability, because we've seen him survive much worse. Like dangling off a train car in the
this would be Nathan Drake, obviously.
Shot in the gut. Yeah. So yeah, I just thought a treasure hunter death battle would be a cool idea, and I thought this fight made more sense than Lara Croft, because seriously, the things she does. But hey, if they do Nathan Drake versus Lara Croft sometime in the future instead of this, I'm totally fine with it. I mean, I just want a treasure hunter death battle, and I thought this would make more sense. Although I'm sure that Lara Croft isn't as OP as I think she is.
No,
well, anyway,
I don't think she is either.
That's it for this one, so on to the next one. Now this fight is one of my favorites. Like, I love the concept of this. Everyone, the battle of the century, the duel of the dogs. Crypto versus Underdog. So for those of you who don't know and somehow can't tell by this very obvious picture here, Crypto is Superman's dog, or, a super dog that
Crypto is supposedly
Krypton,
Superman's
and Underdog is from his own universe, and he is a super dog. I mean, I'm sure you knew that, but seriously, I love his name. Just gotta say that right now. So, just
I'll give it to
basic
Crypto.
stats. I mean, I feel like Crypto's definitely stronger and has more special abilities. Intelligence? Honestly, I'm not sure. Haven't watched the original Underdog cartoon enough to know anything about how smart Underdog is. I only watched the movie where he was not portrayed to be smart at all.
No, the cartoon. In the cartoon, Underdog was like a person,
how
basically.
He always is.
He was not like... Yeah, Underdog was like a person, not... Like, he just happened to be physically a dog, but like Brian. Perfect example. In the cartoon, Underdog was like Brian.
Underdog is easily faster. He flew around the entire planet to catch a frisbee, stayed in China for a little bit, grabbed a bite to eat, took some souvenirs. Like, really, the fact that he did that actually happened in the movie. And trust me,
that movie
much
is
faster than
terrible.
lightning.
I would give it to
What
Crypto
else do I
easily.
really have to say? They're both super dogs. That's why I wanted to have this fight happen sometime in the future. I know a lot of people might not like to see dogs kill each other. Like, think about that for a bit. But,
This is a lame fight,
It still is a good fight, and I'm not too squeamish about that sort of thing. So I mean, I'm fine with it. Anyway, let's move right on to the next one. This fight also was somewhat of a last-minute addition, which is surprising considering what fight it is. I mean, you wouldn't expect this to be a last-minute thought. Here we are with... Oh my god, once I say one of the characters, I doubt you can ever guess the other. Lucario versus Renamon. I mean, come on. So these two share a lot
that
of
would actually be
similarities,
interesting.
in my opinion. And just with how many they have, I really do think this would be a good fight. They're both agile, with a lot of power in special attacks, I think. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about Digimon, but I did do slight research on these. Not to mention, this is another generic choice, so I'm sure
It's also a
somewhat
bad
good,
idea, considering
right?
that
That's how the internet works,
Digimon,
right?
that Death Battle
anyway,
already did a
it doesn't
Digimon
matter
versus
in the end anyway. It's another
Pokemon
versus
fight,
Digimon fight,
and Digimon
but this
won.
one is much more fair. also no trainers. There is at least one Lucario in the Pokemon world who can fight without a trainer.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact Digimon can fight without their trainers, or, you know,
their friends.
Digidestined or whatever.
Yeah.
And since Renamon's a rookie level,
there are Pokemon that can fight without humans.
To me. I mean, seriously, from what I
Mewtwo,
understand, she's very powerful
pretty
for a
much
rookie.
any of the legendaries.
So, yeah, it's a fair Pokemon versus Digimon death battle.
Lucario,
That's basically the only
from the
real
show,
reason I included it on
and
this list,
who
I'll
else?
be completely honest with you. But
Meowth,
I do like the
also from the show,
Pokemon versus Digimon, so I have to put one of
and
them here. So this is it, because
think that
it's
was
the
it.
most reasonable fight and makes a lot of sense. Like, there are Lucarios and Renamons, or there's a Lucario and a Renamon that would work really well in a fight together. So anyway,
yeah. So Mewtwo,
let's move on to the next one, because I spent barely any time on
Lucario,
the ones
and
that I
Meowth,
find
all from the show, and then
intense.
all the legendaries can all fight without trainers. But Death Battle already said that
Alright, so spoiler
Digimon
alert,
are much
the
stronger,
next two are
so
also somewhat
that's a bad
generic
one.
choices. I mean, how can I resist? They're so good. So this one is two of the big baddies. No, not the big baddies.
Galactus
I'm
versus
talking about
no,
Darkseid
Thanos versus
Thanos.
Darkseid. Yes, okay.
Or Thanos.
Finally, a good one. A good
Either
one.
way, this one is like a Hawkeye Green Arrow.
It's
situation.
about time.
Like, they are so similar. They each have superhuman strength, speed, agility, telepathy, really good minds. Like, they're both really, really intelligent. Like, really, they are incredibly similar. I'm sure some people know, but I really can't tell who would win this fight because of how similar they are. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And by
I
the way,
honestly
I'm not
don't know
counting
either.
Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, because, I mean, come on, that's just cheating, bro. I mean, what else can I say about this fight that someone else hasn't? It's pretty even, obviously. They're basically the same. Like, really, I don't have anything else to say. So, anyway,
No, enough said.
Let's get on to the last in our list.
They did it. They did this. Yeah, I don't know. No, I wouldn't say that's obscure. Samurai Jack versus Kenshin. That'd probably be a good series. They've done multiple battles before though. I feel like Hero and Baymax would win that. I don't know this one. I don't know Silver. I don't know Unicron. Is that from Transformers? Unicron? So who is number one if Thanos and Darkseid are number two?
I have to say, this last one has to be my favorite. I mean, it might not be the closest death battle, but I don't know that yet. The fight I'm speaking of is Cole McGrath
versus the
Alex
yes,
Mercer.
yeah, that guy,
Infamous versus
Alex
Prototype.
Mercer.
These were two rival games. I mean, they both came out around the same time. They both
Alex
had
would take
a
it.
similar premise. Although
Alex
I
would take
think
it.
Prototype was a bit more violent than Infamous could ever hope to
Prototype,
be,
that's what it
even
was.
if
I have it. I have it on
And
PS4,
also,
PS3.
sadly, Evil
Prototype.
Cole
I have it on
would like to
PS3
see,
and Xbox.
But technically speaking, Death Battle can't do it because good Cole is canon. Evil Cole is not canon. Sorry to all of you who thought Evil Cole would be a cool matchup, but he just wouldn't work. So ultimately, I feel like this comes down to special versus physical attacks, but it's more than that. I mean, if it was just that, then Alex would never die, because while Cole could keep him at a distance with his ranged attacks, Alex can survive all of them. And even if Cole manages to knock him out, or get him out of the fight, he can easily regenerate from something like that. The only thing he didn't regenerate from was James Heller consuming him. So this is the only fight where I'm actually going to say
That was a
how
bit of
I
a
think would
spoiler.
go
I didn't
down
know that.
if it actually happened. So how the fight starts, I don't know. That's for Torian to decide. But I feel like it would mostly be a close-range battle because Cole has a few abilities that can keep Alex at a distance, but not nearly as effective as Alex's abilities to get in, like his shield, his armor, and all that. But there was one thing that was mostly only mentioned in the comics. I mean, it was DLC for the first game, the Gigawatt Blades. Also, people who played PlayStation All-Stars will recognize this from his side square. You see, these Gigawatt Blades are incredibly good cutting weapons, which makes them extremely good against Alex Mercer, whose limbs can be cut off. I mean, I'm sure they grow back, but over a long period of time. So all Cole has to do with these Gigawatt Blades is just cut off each of Alex's different power-ups and do exactly what James Heller ended up doing. Sadly, I have to say, the only way Cole could logically kill Alex is by doing the one thing he's against. He would have to use his Drain ability. Don't remember what the normal Drain is called. I know the super powerful version is Ionic Drain. Also, another thing is, even if there is no electricity in the area, I have to point out the fact that Cole can summon a lightning storm to him wherever he is. Not to mention, Alex also needs a healing source, usually just random civilians walking around. I'm pretty sure he regenerates normally, but so does Cole. The only difference is Cole needs a bunch of energy to be able to use all of his abilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, ultimately I
would
think
say
Cole
Alex
would end up winning, but obviously I'm not sure
No,
the
Alex
full
would win.
extent of Alex Mercer. He's extremely powerful, but even when he consumed a bunch of his disciples, I guess, he still couldn't beat James Heller. I mean, of course, I'm not going to bother looking into exactly how strong James Heller is, but you know when you combine with, like, 7 people and still can't beat one person, that you have somewhat of a problem. But anyway, the Drain ability does actually drain all of your electrical energy, I guess, from your body. Like, I'm pretty sure the way it works would, even if it didn't necessarily kill Alex, it would completely destroy his brain. There would be nothing left, because all of the charges would be gone. And I know the way the virus works in regenerating him, it somehow might regenerate that too.
Yeah,
I
but he's
don't
forgetting
think
that
so.
Alex
Just
can
knowing how
consume
this
him.
whole thing works. And even with that, I don't think it would be able to regenerate him, because the virus needs that electromagnetic field too. So, anyway, that was it for this top 10 video. If you want to see another in the future, just leave a comment and I might make it like a year from now, because I don't have any other ideas. What did you think I was full of them? I mean, I have like 3. So if you're really interested, yeah, leave the comment. But just keep in mind it probably won't happen for a very long time, if it does at all. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more Death Battle related videos, be sure to subscribe. Not gonna promise more videos like this. Anyway, see you in the next video.
Okay. So, clearly, I had to disagree with a bunch of the lists, or a bunch of the choices that he used. I agreed with the top, I think it was 2 or 3. What was it? The top 2 or 3, and then one of the last ones was actually really good, which was actually better than most of the other ones that he had. So that was... No, excuse me. No. Not Crash and Spyro. No, that was weak. Amy and Harley, no. Scarlet Witch versus Raven. I feel like Scarlet Witch can reshape reality. I'm sorry. That's an automatic win. I'm sorry. Automatic win. I'm sorry. I don't think Raven can do that. I don't know about Kill la Kill versus the Heavenly Sword chick. I don't know about... Yeah, that was Kill la Kill versus the Heavenly Sword Girl. This was Makka versus Ruby. Once again, I didn't read much of Soul Eater. And I was a bigger fan of the mangaka's previous work, which was Biichi, and I was kind of disappointed that he never, or that he canceled Biichi to move on with Soul Eater. So I was kind of disappointed with that. So I didn't even really read that, and I've never seen Ruby, so I don't know. Nathan Drake versus Lara Croft would be interesting. I've never thought of that battle, but that would be kind of interesting. Indy versus him? No, that's too weak. No, that would be Nathan Drake easily. Because keep in mind, Indiana Jones doesn't do much fighting. He doesn't do much fighting. Period. There's a lot of chases and everything, but he doesn't actually. He like rarely fights. Underdog versus Crypto. That was terrible. That was a terrible choice. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Besides, Crypto would take that easily. And I have one word that would explain why. And I'm sure many of you who see my videos are going to know why. Kryptonian. Okay? Crypto is from Krypton. That's it. That's all you need to know. He's Underdog would be done. That would be it. And the cartoon, I think, nerfed his abilities or whatever. And Crypto by himself, but in fact, both of them are kind of lame characters. The character of Crypto is lame. The Underdog movie was terrible, especially since they made him from a... What's the word I want to use? An anthropomorphic dog. Because in the cartoon, he was an anthropomorphic dog. Like, he was a guy with a job and everything. Almost like Brian, except he didn't live with a family. Like, he was a person. Except he was a dog. So, Underdog's kind of an idiot. And that's the only thing is, Underdog would probably have the upper hand with intelligence. But Crypto is just far more durable and far stronger. This one was Lucario. Oh yeah, Lucario versus Redrunner. So, I would agree that would be an interesting battle. However, if Death Battle hadn't already said Digimon are far stronger than Pokemon will ever dream to be, then there's no reason for this battle. It's over. Okay? Like, you kind of missed that part. So, therefore, in my opinion, the only two that were actually really good choices, and I feel like there were honorary mentions that were better. There were honorary mentions that were better than some of the stuff on his list. Who was it? It was... So Darkseid versus Thanos is a given. That will be a good fight. That's one that everyone wants to see. Who else? It was Samurai Jack versus Kenshin. Yes. That is a good fight. You can't pull out freaking Rosie from Sonic Comics and then say Samurai Jack and Kenshin are too obscure. Come on, man. Come on. You can't say that. You've already negated. And if it's too one-sided, I don't know Samurai Jack's abilities. So I can't really say. But I feel like that would be a cool matchup to have Kenshin go up in Death Battle. Because I would love to see Kenshin go up in Death Battle, but it's not going to be against Zoro, because Zoro would mop the floor with it. And I guess it is one-sided. If it's too one-sided, it would probably be against Kenshin. Let's see, who else? It was... Yes, Hero and Baymax. Yeah, Hero and Baymax versus Hiccup and Toothless. That would probably be a good battle. I will give them that. The only does Hero actually do anything? No, Hero doesn't. I don't think Hero actually does anything. So and Toothless doesn't really do much. It would be cool in theory. In theory, that would be cool. But yeah, I can see that. That's not gonna work. And also we can't really say that Samurai Jack versus Kenshin is too one-sided if they freaking put up the Flash versus Quicksilver. Like, that was probably the most one-sided battle I've ever seen. Shame on you, Death Battle, for having the Flash go up against Quicksilver. Shame on you. Shame. And let's see, anything else? I think that was it. Yeah. So the rest, pretty much either the rest of these I don't know, or they just wouldn't fit. So I would only agree with maybe about 3 of the ones that he's mentioned, and I would alter. I think it was 1. That was Darkseid and Thanos, and then Alex Mercer versus Cole from Injustice. Oh, not Injustice. I can't think of the name of that game. But those would be interesting. The Darkseid versus Thanos, I gotta agree, that's one or the other. I couldn't really tell you. But I feel like Alex Mercer would come out over Cole. And that's because, once again, because Cole can get him from a distance, but all the abilities that he was talking about Cole trying to incapacitate Alex involve him coming up close to Alex. So it's like, once he gets in close, Alex can grab him, and that's it. Like, once Alex gets his hands on him, like, he can consume him. So, I mean, but that it would be a good battle nonetheless. And of course, he left out the one I most want to see, which was Karate Kid versus Iron Fist. So, what do you guys think of his list? Did you guys like it? Did you agree? Did you think some of them were bogus like I did? What are some of your top 10s? I don't think I have a top 10. I haven't put that much thought into it. But it would definitely be a mostly different list from what this guy had up. I'm sorry, bro. Most of that list was trash. So, excepting the ones that I didn't know, which was the Ruby and Soul Eater, and Heavenly Sword, and Kill la Kill. So I can't say about those two, but the majority of that list was trash. I'm sorry. All right. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Loud black guy. There's some loud. What is that? Who's that guy? What is the deal with that? Hey, what's up? What's going on? My man,